We currently have 340 members. You can roughly see where you're all located just by looking at the red dots on the map on the screen. We have 98 honorary members, consisting mainly of consultants and others from the medical profession.
With great pleasure, I can say that our award for fundraising for 2020 goes to Peter Bateman. Peter has raised over £10,000 for the group. He started raising money for the group in around 2011, passing the 10,000 mark a year or two ago. And the 2020 award for raising awareness of HSP is going to Lily Rice. Lily came to our attention a couple of years ago by being the first female in Europe to complete a wheelchair backflip. We've given Lily the Raising Awareness Award because she is using her enthusiasm to help youngsters in wheelchairs feel less different from others and to show that there really is a cool side to having a wheelchair. Lily was on BBC One a couple of weeks ago, and I encourage you to go and watch her episode of Our Lives Defying Gravity on BBC iPlayer.
At the start of the year, we had an opening balance of 41,000 from last year. We've had our income that we've seen earlier of 107,000, expenditure of 11,000. So our surplus for the year is a massive £95,920.
Over the year, 4 members have applied for grants. These all were for mobility aids, although as people who have been members for a period know, we're quite prepared to consider things wider than mobility aids if we think it helps people overcome the effects of HSP. In total, £3,117 were approved for payment of these grants.
We finished our trial run of our new grant application process recently, where we scored each application against our questions which they had answered. We had 3 applications for funding in this round. I'm pleased to say that we agreed to fund each application, and we'll be keeping in touch with each project as it progresses, and we can keep you all informed about how that's going on. And you can see that there is a common thread amongst all of these about biomarkers. Another thing we have been doing is sorting out the committee structure for the group. So we have started off with 4 committees. We have done this partly so that our activities are more transparent and accountable, and partly so that we can spread the load of these activities to groups of people rather than individuals. But mostly we have done it so that it becomes obvious where to go when people are seeking help. We can see that all of us have been re-elected as trustees, and I'd like to thank you all for voting. I'm very pleased to be re-elected for another term as chair. I am also pleased to say that now Mitesh has been voted in, he has agreed to take over the membership secretary role from Ian Bennett later in the year. John Mason has been re-elected and carries on with the treasurer role. Our secretary, Dave Harris, was re-elected last year, and Mike Kane the year before that. It would be remiss of me not to mention coronavirus. Obviously, we had various bits and bobs going at the start and the decision to stop face-to-face meetings. We've had a number of virtual meetings since then using Zoom just as a way of getting to where we are now. So normally, as you know, at the AGM we have a bunch of presentations afterwards. I had asked 4 people to present at this year's AGM, which we would have done in Birmingham, and 3 of them have agreed to take part in digital events over the summer. It's a shame that we lose the face-to-face interactions and the conversations with individuals, but we've got people from all over the country here today, including some that have never been to an AGM. And you don't need to leave the room that you're in. It removes any transportation issues and helps minimize fatigue concerns, but I do realize that the technology may be a barrier for some. As we see coronavirus restrictions lifting, we can start planning and moving forwards with getting our own face-to-face meetings going again. We are making next year's AGM free of charge, and we should be back at Tally Ho in Birmingham where we would have been today. And I hope to see many of you there in person next year. Part of our discussions coming up in the next couple of months among the trustees is to work out if we can get some kind of digital element of the AGM going. I'd quite like to be able to do that so we can have it face to face and get some kind of digital event there in as well. I've got some thank yous, of course. I'd like to thank all of you members. Without you, we wouldn't be here helping you. I'd really like to thank the volunteers, the many people who volunteered for the group doing all sorts of things, and their valuable time makes this group work, so thank you to them. I'd like to thank the fundraisers. There are plenty of activities going on that raise funds and awareness for the group. It's all amazing. Thank you very much. And I also thank the researchers. The work that they do into HSP gives us hope about things which will look better in the future. And I'd just like to add a quick thanks to everyone for taking part in our first digital AGM today, and to remind you all that anyone can find out more information about us on our website.